This was my first Gundam model. It was the custom Gundam Wing Zero, and I love that he had the angel wings, and the box art of him holding the two guns and aiming down and doing like a final blast type deal was really amazing. Anyways, after buying him, I was like on a mission to buy like the other Gundams from that series, and then you find out that you start going back and back, and there's just a ton of Gundam models. I went for the 1/144th size, and the reason why I did that is because they weren't as expensive, and they obviously weren't as detailed as the bigger ones, but there was plenty of them. Looks like they focused only a few, or they focused on making a lot more models with a smaller size, and so that's what I went with. I did have a couple ones that were, the 1/100, but nah, it is what it is. Anyways, like I said, you go back to series, you got G Gundam, you got, MS Gundam, the original one, then you got just a ton more. The newer series, Gundam Seed, Gundam Seed Destiny. Every time Gundam came out with a series, followed was Bandai making a ton of models for them. And I was one of those people that got hooked on doing them. So, my first batch, and just like with the cars, I got to go back and put them all together, just because putting them in here and whatnot, they are falling apart. One of the cool ones that came out was the G Gundam series, and the G Gundam series is more like it was a alternative universe, which I think the whole Gundam thing is all alternative and different routes going here and there and leading to different worlds or whatever. But the G Gundam series was that nations of the world would have their robot to fight other nations, and it was kind of funny because a lot of those Gundams were really like a stereotype of that country. So it was one of those things where, like one Gundam, he represents, this is supposed to be like a scorpion or snake, and I forgot he represented some place that had that as their, or as one country that was known to have that. This was a model, and let me go with that. They had a few models of the Gundams in that size. Like I think this is France. You can tell by a fencing sword. But this is their Gundam that represented them. But anyways, here's a good example. This is actually a toy Gundam. They never made the model for the G Gundam series, but they had a lot of toys that were the same size as the Gundam model, so I got a few of those. And obviously this one, I think he represents China. You can just tell by his wear, or maybe even Japan, somewhere in the Southeast Asia or the Asia region. Anyways, some of those they came out with toys, and they came out with models. I got all the models, and then I got the toys because some of them were just really, really cool. So here's the other one that I got. So here's another toy from the G Gundam series, action figure, and like I said, it's all stereotype, and obviously he represented, Africa, and obviously with the zebra. And the cool thing is that at the end of the series, they had all these crazy tough robots, and one of them came as a model, and the rest of them you had to buy them as a toy. And the problem with buying them as a toy is that they were rare as well. So this is the one that came. This is a model that I put together, which I really dig. It was really, the way he was set up was really cool. Just a giant Gundam face, but really awesome. Now these are the rare ones that you try to find these toys. This Gundam, I forgot what his name was, but You try to find this G Gundam Final One, and I think you're looking over $100, maybe $150 to try to find this one. And the super rare one, it was this bird type Gundam, and he's an action figure as well. And then there was this one, and these two as well. These are action figures as well, but they never made them into models. But they were the same size as models, so like I said, this one was actually these two were like, there was only one left, and I didn't get them when they came out. I got them years later when I found out about them, and I was like, hey man, I'd like to have that in my collection. So yeah, but as far as with the Gundam models, there's quite a lot, and I really wanted to start collecting them again, but like I said, time and money right now is just focused on different things. But I definitely will get back into it. I really enjoyed building them and having them on my stand, and drove my wife crazy. Anyway, so that's my Gundam model collection.